In health headlines, a new study published this week in JAMA Internal Medicine revealed a growing number of moms are struggling with their mental and physical health. The survey was done with nearly 200,000 mothers with kids 17 years old and under from 2016 to 2023, and the findings were concerning. It showed only about a quarter, 25% of moms said that they were in excellent mental health in 2023. That's a big drop from 38% in 2016. And when describing their health as good, well, that rose from almost 19% to 26%. And fair/poor rose slightly from 5.5% to 8.5%. When it came to physical health, 15% fewer mothers reported being in the excellent category. Now, you might be wondering why. The findings seem to be consistent with increases in depression and anxiety. Researchers also believe access to mental health care, inflation, and rising substance use could also be among various factors. So joining us now is therapist Juliana Lyddon of Connect with Juliana. You know, I read this study and I thought, my gosh, those are some staggering statistics.
Really
are you seeing this in your practice?
I'm seeing it in my practice, and I see the moms that come in and that are just completely overwhelmed. And you know, when we look at that why, Tram, I think a lot of it started with COVID. It's not just because of that, but what happened with that is we became so disconnected, right? From the family, from ourselves. We went into our screens, all of that. We lost touch with reality. So I think that helped exacerbate some of these problems. And then you've just got the overwhelm from trying to do it all. You've got the burnout. You've got maybe financial problems. Moms try to do it all. Something's got to give.
Yeah, they do so much. And, you know, in all fairness, dads too as well.
Of course.
But, you know, I mean, you think about like jobs and this study, when you talk about the time span of the study, it was from 2018 to 2023. COVID fell in the middle of that. And so obviously, you know, clearly that exacerbated things. So what can moms do? I mean, you've got a list of things that I love that these, you know, the advice that you give, but it needs to be reminded.
It does. And some of these little creative things help make a difference because we need something to grab onto, you know? And one of them is called the 2 yes rule.
What is that?
Which is so great. And I tell my moms do this because one of the things with overwhelm is we overcommit, okay?
Yes,
and
it's hard to say no.
Yes.
We've done a segment on it.
And we've talked about this. So what I say is, okay, once somebody asks you to do something, obviously you're gonna check in up here and you're gonna think, okay, can I do it? Does it fit into my schedule?
You wanna say yes.
Right. But often when we do and we shouldn't, or we're doing it because it's the right thing to do, we get resentful with it and the anxiety goes up. So you need to check in up here and then you need to check in with your gut. And you need to say, does this really feel, do I really want to do it? Take that pause. If there is a yes and a no, it's a no. If there's a yes and a yes, it's a yes. Take that time because it really can make a difference. And that little thing, you'd be surprised, it helps.
It's so true. So many times I say yes up here and no down here.
Right.
Should have been a no. All right, next up you say, do a visual reset corner. What is that?
So have a place. It can be in the corner of the living room. It can be at your desk, wherever that is. Maybe a little candle, a few photos that make you feel good. So what you're doing here is when you are up to here, you're going to go over to that corner. Even if you're going to stand or sit down, you're going to look at some of the pictures. What we're doing is resetting our brain.
You're centering yourself.
Yes. We're teaching the brain that we don't always have to be in that high alert state. So we're kind of unplugging for a moment, breathing. And one of the things some of my moms would say is they find their kids over there and they're like, they're like, what are you doing? They're like, nothing. And they're just because they see you go there. You know, you have to remember.
What a good example.
Exactly. You have to remember we're a reflection also of what's happening with our kids and vice versa.
I need to make my corner.
Yes.
Another good thing that I feel like we forget in our busyness. Remember your girlfriends.
There are lots of studies that confirm the power of the girlfriend. And what I mean by that is we can vent with them.
Yes,
We
they
feel
understand.
heard. Right. It's like a mini group therapy session.
Yes.
You know, you call them, you show up, you have levity, you're unloading,
Right.
and you can all relate.
Yes.
That power, and there we go back to the connection, which we couldn't always do during that span of time. We lost a part of ourselves.
So true.
Yeah.
You also say name your invisible load. What do you mean by that?
This is the biggest part. So when my mamas come in, I say, okay, let's create a list. I want to know what it is you're doing. Tell me about your load.
Yeah.
One of the things I find is this invisible load, also known as the emotional load. So they are not only trying to carry their emotional stuff,
Right.
which can be so difficult, right? When you've got these little ones that you're trying to carry theirs.
Oh, gosh,
You know how it
yes,
is.
yes.
We get so anxious, we get panicky carrying their stuff. If they're hurting,
We're hurting even more, it feels
so
like.
we lose that cushion.
Yeah.
By then we've lost the ability to deal with our stuff because we're taking theirs on. So I say, let's go through this list.
So
let's
true.
see where we can move things around. Ask Daddy, ask for support,
Yeah.
however that looks, so that you're not just, you know, carrying it all.
everything, and
Right.
that weight feels, overbearing.
Moms do it.
Yeah.
We are so strong.
I know.
We don't want to, tell anybody that we're failing.
Right. I always tell people I need a shirt that says trying my best.
Yes.
Every day, right? Because we do try to do everything and we can't.
We can't.
Yeah. All right. So great to have you,
Oh,
Juliana.
it's good to be
Great
here.
advice. I got to take some of those.
That's
All
right.
Thank you so much.